This is a big one. Well, I already have bad knees.
Yeah.
I've already got a bad back. This is just going to make those things
make
worse.
it worse, right?
No, the opposite. Properly performed strength training is the best thing you could do for chronic pain. Period. End of story. Not just my opinion. Again, look at the data. It's very, very clear. Chronic pain is different than an acute injury. Like if you tore your knee and you need it to heal, that's different. Don't go work it out. Wait till it heals. But if you've got knee pain that's been with you for years or decades, or back pain that's been with you for years or decades, that's a result of dysfunction, which starts with weakness. There is a dysfunction in that joint, and what controls and stabilizes the joint are muscles. If you look at all your joints and you took all the muscles off, the joint does nothing. It just sits there. What makes the joint move and function are all the muscles that surround it and control it. And if some of those muscles are weak or tight or both, the joint itself starts to function in a way that is dysfunctional. That's what causes pain. That's what causes the joints to wear down. If you look at your knee and you look at the way the kneecap slides over the femur and the way the knee flexes and extends, if it's moving the way it's supposed to and supported the way it's supposed to be supported by the muscles, there's no pain. If it's moving in a way that's suboptimal, that joint starts to wear down. Now, the question people often ask me is, well, my joint's already worn down. What can I do now? Your joints heal. People don't realize this, but joints heal once they start moving properly. Once the surrounding joint starts to move properly, and this happens.
Plus, don't you want to build some stability around it? Yeah, regardless, so you can actually walk and have function and do like daily activities. It's, it's such a defeatist way to look at it. I used to like deal with this with my grandpa, my grandma, and like trying to, really reinforce the fact that we need to get stronger. So, a lot of these pain signals will dampen because now we have more security and more stability there around the joint to help.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll talk about the back because that's a very the most common area of pain is back pain. If you took your spine out of your body, it's made up of multiple joints. What puts the spine in proper alignment and prevents it from moving and flexing in ways? It's all the muscles that surround it and stabilize it.
Well, all chronic pain, the root of it is weakness and instability.
That's it.
Right? So if you are suffering from chronic pain in your knees, in your shoulders, in your neck, in your back, the root cause of that is weakness and instability of the muscles. Therefore, training those muscles to be more stable and strong is the way you alleviate that pain.
Now, here's the key, because someone might be listening and saying, look, my knees hurt, and I do get up to go to walk and exercise, and when I do, they hurt. And so I need to sit down and rest them. That's the only thing that takes the pain away. So here's the difference between good function and dysfunction. So if you get up and walk and your knees hurt, there's dysfunction there. Walking more is just more dysfunctional movement. Strength training is targeted. So what a good coach or a good trainer will do is they'll look at your movement and say, okay, that's why your knee hurts. Here are the specific exercises for you that will correct that dysfunction. It's not the walking that's hurting you. It's the fact that when you're walking, there's dysfunction in the joint. And so we need to work on creating better function, moving
contract those muscles and build up support systems.
That's right. So as a trainer, I'd see somebody with knee pain and they say it hurts when it walks. And I do an assessment. That's what a good coach does. And then you see, okay, I could see why your knee's bothering you. And so let's strengthen these muscles. Let's loosen these muscles. And over time, walking no longer hurts you because now your joint is moving the way it's supposed to.
The extreme version of that, I remember when I went through my ACL and MCL tear, and I couldn't understand why I could still walk. And I remember
after they were torn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember the doctor going like, it's because of how much muscle you've developed in your legs. Your muscle is supporting it and keeping it in place. There's no stress on the ligaments, even though you don't have them and you blew them. That's how much your muscle supports that. Now that's obviously an extreme example of that, but the reverse is true, right? So if you have no muscle in your legs or in your arms, then all the stress goes to the ligaments and the joints. You getting strong and developing those muscles takes the stress off those joints, and especially proper movement, like you're saying, is that what's happening when someone walks and they feel that cramping is you're not walking properly. You're putting all the stress on the joints and the ligaments because you have no muscle to support the walking. Once you build the muscle to support walking and moving properly, you no longer have that pain.
Again, and this is why other forms of exercise are sometimes not so good for pain, is because you're not targeting what needs to get stronger. So your body develops these movement patterns and your joints develop these patterns based off of, how strong and stable you are or you aren't. And if you don't correct it, moving more isn't going to fix the problem. You have to move differently. And the way that you move differently is you train the body with targeted strength training, because strength training is great because I could target specific muscles, specific movements in very specific ways, fix the problem, boom, no longer have pain. And joints begin to heal. They actually start to heal.